Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going over which booster boxes to invest in 2024, or really right now. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And if you want to become a channel member, that would be greatly appreciated. You can join up from the home screen and ask me any investing related questions you want via email. So, booster boxes. Before we delve into exactly which ones I think you should be buying and why, and also some strategies around it, I just wanted to talk briefly about booster boxes in general as an investment. Now, when it comes to Pokemon cards and investing, there's lots of options, isn't there? We can go sealed, we can go singles. When we talk singles, we can go vintage, in between, modern, we can go graded, we can go for the chance of grading to make returns when we're looking at sealed products. Obviously, there's a plethora of sealed product, isn't there? You know, from the new booster bundles to sealed black blisters, vintage, modern, in between. Booster boxes, elite trainer boxes, Pokemon Center elite, like you name it, there's so many options when it comes to Pokemon card investing. But if we narrow our focus right into booster boxes, I guess we could call booster boxes like the blue chip company, aren't they? It's like they've got a proven record. You know, it's like that company that's been around for 60 years and providing solid dividends to its investors all that time with pretty stable growth with the odd dip here and there, but you know, the trend line generally going up. And for those people that are still skeptical around sealed Pokemon investing, and particularly Pokemon booster box investing, booster boxes have a track record. Like, how long's Pokemon been out for now as a collectible card game? Surely it's 27, 28 years? And not one booster box has ever gone down in value, as in from what it started at. Every single booster box has gone up in value. Like, what more evidence do we need than a 100% strike rate of an increase in value? Booster boxes are just that blue chip investment. Now, when it comes, I said I'll talk strategies and then I'll get into exactly what booster boxes we should pick up. When we're talking strategies investing in booster boxes, I really think you got three options. Okay, you can go the spray and pray approach, as I like to call it. What I used to do when I used to play Halo back in the day, spray and pray. Actually, no, I was pretty handy at Halo. Call of Duty, I was no good at. I was spray and praying that, but Halo, I was solid. Anyway, the spray and pray approach, which is basically just buying every single box at launch, whether it's a case of booster boxes, one booster box, three booster boxes, depending on your budget, but you are buying every single set from the beginning. At retail or below or on special or whatever damn deal you can buy yourself to get it as cheap an entry point price as possible. That's one strategy, buying everything. Because at the end of the day, we don't know. There's so many factors we don't know. We don't know how much a set's going to be reprinted. We don't know if the cards inside that set are all of a sudden going to get a spike in popularity and therefore a spike in price, which will push booster box prices north. We don't know. There's lots of unknowns. The other strategy, or the second strategy you could use when investing in booster boxes, is to really narrow the focus down a little bit more and just buy what you think are good sets at launch, at below retail, on special, on a deal, whatever it might be. And you go, well, this set is better than this set. Set A is better than set B. So I'm going to buy just set A because I think it's a better set and it's going to get me better returns. Like, you know, I'm not going to buy Darkness Ablaze. I'm going to buy Evolving Skies because I think it's a better set. Therefore, it's going to get me better returns. So if I can buy both of them at retail, I'm going the one which I think is the better set. Okay, that's option two or strategy two when it comes to investing in booster boxes. The third strategy, which is quite a good one, is catching the train on the way out of the station. So it's when a set gets to the end of its, I suppose, rotation cycle, and the chances or likelihood of it ever getting reprinted are next to none, and we see that booster box stock is really, really starting to dwindle. A good example of that recently was a set like Fusion Strike. Here in Australia, it was forever and a day on special when it was at launch. It was like $145 with discount codes. That's like $90, and that's posted to the doorstep. That's like $90 posted US to your door per booster box. Okay, then it just hovered around that 180 to 200 Australian dollar mark, which was sort of, probably around 130 US posted for like 2 years. It just sat there. And then all of a sudden, stock levels started to get really, really low, and booster box prices, you could see that uptick where the floor of the market was getting wiped away. There's only 2 booster boxes left at this price, then it moves to this price. There's 4 left at this price, and then it moves to this price. So you could catch the train as it's leaving the station, knowing full well that supply is dwindling, there's not going to be a reprint, and booster box prices are only going to move one way. That's really your third option, I guess. And look, on that, before I get into exactly which booster boxes you should buy, I'm not trying to drag it out. Sometimes I just get excited about talking about it. On that whole notion, I think that's why a lot of people end up quitting or leaving Pokemon investing, because they'll buy a set like Fusion Strike, for argument's sake, and they might have bought it at 180 Australian dollars, which is like 130, 125, 130 US. And for like literally 18 months to 2 years, it stayed at that price and didn't move. And they might have bought a bunch of them. Everyone was saying, this is a pretty solid set. It's got good chase cards inside it with, the Gengar and the Espeon and the Mew. It's going to appreciate in value. And they might have put a fair bit of money into it. And then they go after 12 months, look, my money hasn't even moved. Like, it's done nothing. What a waste of time, a waste of energy, and waste of money. So they sell it off and move on and never get back in the hobby again. It's like people with no experience in the share market when they just buy a share and then after 12 months it hasn't moved. So they go, I'll stuff it, I'll sell it, and I'll use that money to go on a holiday or do something completely else. So, that is just another point to take in mind, that booster boxes, that progression in price isn't linear. Quite often it can be very stable and then hit a massive spike. So that's the third strategy, leaving the station with the train, catching it on the uptick. Anyway, onto boxes that you should buy. Now, this is a really difficult part because we don't know. And I get asked so many questions around booster boxes and which ones to buy. Like if we look at Scarlet and Violet, the most popular booster box to open at the moment is Twilight Masquerade. Reason being, of course, you've got a big chase card inside there. It is the most expensive chase card from the whole Scarlet and Violet era in that Greninja. Personally, I love the card. I just did a video on it. I know it's quite controversial. Some people hate it. Some people love it. Love it or hate it, though, it's popular. And it's driving a lot of people to open Twilight Masquerade and grade that card with the aim of getting a 10 or just have it as part of their collection. Pull rates aren't easy on it. Therefore, prices are up. And look, it's a hard one because, like I said, if we look at the whole of Scarlet and Violet era, we can go, okay, well, Twilight Masquerade's the one to get because, it's got the most expensive top 10 chase cards. It's got the most expensive chase card from the era. That's the one that people are going to want to open in the future. And therefore, it's going to drive booster box prices up. Well, here's a little caveat on that. Rewind the clock back to 2020 and you know what everyone was opening? Everyone was opening Vivid Voltage. Everyone was trying to chase that Rainbow Pikachu. Everyone was trying to get the amazing rares from that set. Rainbow Pikachu was the same price, if not more, raw than what Greninja is right now. And look at that set now. It's so hard to predict exactly what's going to happen in the future. It really is just speculating. And that's why if you go back to that 3 strategies, I really like strategy number 1, which is just buying a bit of everything. And then I really like strategy 3, which is catching the train as it's leaving the station. It's just so hard to predict. We could say Twilight Masquerade will be the best, but then it could get overshadowed by 2 or 3 sets towards the latter section or portion of Scarlet and Violet that have way better chase cards than Greninja. Pokemon Company do a big second wave of Twilight Masquerade, a big reprint on it because they think it's a solid set and people are going to want to chase Greninja. It waters the whole single prices down. Greninja all of a sudden is a $60 to $80 US card, and all of a sudden we're in the same place that we're in with Vivid Voltage. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it could happen. What I'm getting at is we don't really know. So then it brings about the question, okay, across the whole of Scarlet and Violet era, what's the best booster box to invest in? Well, hey, look, it probably still is Paldea Evolved or Twilight Masquerade. They are the 2 strongest. They're the 2 most popular. And the general rule of thumb is if it's popular, new, it's going to be popular down the track as a second-hand, well, I shouldn't call it second-hand, but, as that second-hand market product. They're probably the 2 best. Now, if we're talking Japanese, and I'll fall on my sword here, okay, I was buying Japanese 151 booster boxes at launch for, 205, 210 Australian dollars, which is like 140 US. Okay, we got a massive reprint. Everyone knows that. And prices absolutely tanked. I've dollar costed average. Again, I'll say I've fallen on my sword. Okay, we don't get everything right. If I knew everything that would happen in the Pokemon market, I'd probably be a multimillionaire. We make established guesses, for the best word, at what's going to happen. So I really think Scarlet and Violet, Japanese 151 is still a really, really good investment. It's a really good pickup right now. If you can dollar cost average, like I've dollar costed average myself down to like, 130 Australian a box, which is, what's that work out to be? Probably, 80 US a box. Look, it's not the best position, but I can tell you now in 5 years' time, they're not going to be 130 Australian dollars a box. So I'm comfortable in the position that I'm at. And that's what investing is all about. investors don't always get it right. And if we get it wrong, we work on a strategy or a solution to, water down or mitigate some of the risk or some of the losses that we could possibly make. That's the whole aim of investing. Investors don't just go, got that right, got that right, got that right, stack up the money. If it was that easy, well, we'd all be millionaires, wouldn't we? So I think that's, to rewind the part of the question, essentially, Scarlet and Violet so far, I think Paldea Evolved and Twilight Masquerade are the best boxes to pick up, particularly if you can get them on special, on a deal. When we're talking Japanese, I still think 151, if you can dollar cost average yourself down and get them cheap, they're a really, really good investment. In 5 years' time, they're not going to be the prices they are now. And then when it comes to another question that I get asked all the time about booster boxes, I get asked questions around, Silver Tempest, Lost Origin, and probably the number one is Evolving Skies. Is Evolving Skies still a good pickup at the price it's at? Because we all know it's super dear. What is it now? $650 to $700 a box. That is dear. And it's a very, very hard pill to swallow when you missed buying it at $110 because it's 6 times the price it was 2.5 years ago. That's a very, very hard pill to swallow. So is it still a good investment? Well, hey, look, no, because you've missed 6 times the value of it, a 600 times increase in profit. You've missed that boat and you're never going to get it back. However, I will always say to people, if you want it as part of your collection, it's not going to get any cheaper. Evolving Skies, look back in 10 years' time, Evolving Skies is not going to be $650 to $700 a box. It is one of the greatest Pokemon card sets ever made and is not going backwards in price. I can see it moving to, team up territory in the next 3 to 4 years. Is it going to be a $1,000 booster box by the end of the year? Probably not. Is it going to be an $800 booster box by the end of the year? Very, very likely. It's only going to get rarer and rarer and scarcer and scarcer. It is a beautiful, beautiful Pokemon card set and it'll keep going up in value. As for the other ones from Sword and Shield, it's really the exact same scenario. If we're looking at sets like Fusion Strike, Chilling Reign, Lost Origin, yes, you've missed the original price point if you don't have any now. It could have doubled in price. It could have 2.5 times in price. It could have tripled in price between, a deal at launch compared to now. But you still haven't missed the boat. Those sets will continue to appreciate slowly in time, like a lot of those good Sun and Moon sets. Look at sets like Cosmic Eclipse, Unified Minds, Celestial Storm, which is even an average set, really. Ultra Prism, which is pretty strong, full of waifu cards, and another set like Unbroken Bonds, the tag team sets. All of those, if you'd bought them at $200, so double its retail price, you'd still be pretty damn happy with where they are today. So just keep that in mind when it comes to booster boxes. I feel like I've been rambling on a little bit here because I get passionate about booster boxes. That's my specialty when it comes to investing. Hopefully you've taken something out of this video. I'm Michael, this is PokeOz, and I'll catch everyone next time.